Okay guys, so I'm just going to talk real quick through the key for the slope mini quiz. Ideally you will go get a marker and you will have the whole quiz done in pencil already or in pen. So get a different colored marker, and then again a big star if you get the whole problem right, and a slash if you get the problem wrong through the letter, and then make the correction in marker. So I just really wanted you to go through and see, like, if you were to take a quiz right now, how you would do on it, and we're going to talk through these questions. Again, you'll get full credit if you just grade it and are honest, and then we can kind of move from there, continuing to work on slope. So the first two, you were just figuring out if you knew what an undefined slope looks like and a zero slope. So on the first one, draw a line with the slope that's undefined. That just has to be any line that is straight up and down. So vertical lines are the lines that have a slope that is undefined. That's kind of when you just memorize, because there's not a good way to count it, like we do all other slopes. Okay, on the second one, a slope or a line with a slope of 0 is a horizontal line, so it just goes straight left and right. And again, it could have been anywhere on your graph. It just has to be completely horizontal. All right, C and D I tried to make a little bit harder. So I was testing, not only could you find a y-intercept, which is a point on a graph on the y-axis, but also did you know what a positive slope looked like? So your y-intercept does have to be 2 units up from the origin, where mine is, and then any positive slope would have worked. So any line that goes up to the right and down to the left would have worked as a line in that question. Okay, similar concept for D. Draw a line with a y-intercept of 0, -3, and a negative slope. So again, the y-intercept, so the 1 point on my graph has to be in that position, so down 3 units from the origin, but then any level of negative slope would be fine. So your slope has to go down as you go to the right and up as you go to the left from that point, but it could have been like at any steepness, and it still would have been fine. Okay, the last one, I was just wondering if you could tell me in words how you find slope between 2 points. So here's just a general idea. Start with the point on the left, go down 4 and right 2. So the slope would be -4/2. Then you simplify that fraction as -2/1 or -2. I did give you the 2 points on the graph, so you might have wanted to kind of color over those, make them a little more prominent, and then make the right angle so that you can count boxes. So again, just kind of in words, you have to find the rise over run. So how do you get from the point on the left to the point to the right, and then describe that? And that's sort of what I was looking for. The slope of that is -4/2, -2/1, or -2. They're all equivalent fractions. The one Delta Math would want would be -2, because that is the simplified version that you'd get out of your calculator. So again, big star if you got it all right, or something along those lines. Slash if there's something you want to add or something you made a mistake on. Okay, now on these ones, it was very similar to Delta Math in that you had to put your own points on the graph, which was a little bit tricky because obviously this wasn't like digital. So I think it's a bit easier on Delta Math, to be honest. But here are the points that I chose. These graphs are not perfect, but most of them you could get a pretty good idea. So on F, I chose the ordered pair 1, 1, and 2, 2. Those are just 2 ordered pairs that were on the line. And then I did a right triangle to show that I'm going up 1 and right 1 to give me a rise over run of 1/1 that simplifies to just +1 in the calculator. So if you need to fix that, pause the video, go ahead and fix it. Also, you want to make sure you get a positive slope, because if you just kind of zoom your brain back a little bit, as I go to the right, it's going up. So it's positive slope, meaning the number I list is the slope has to be positive. Okay, on G, same idea. I chose 2 points that looked like they were on the line. This was actually probably the hardest one, and I thought the best points were kind of where the arrows were. So you can see the points that I plotted, like the coordinates of them are 0, 1, and 5, -3. So those are the 2 points that I put, that I kind of identified as like being good samples for my line. And then I drew in my right triangle, and I decided that to get from the point on the left to the point on the right, I went down 4 units, right 5 units to give me a slope of -4/5, and that did not simplify any further in the calculator. H is so nice because you don't have to do any work. You just say, oh, it's a horizontal line, so it's a slope of 0. You can type or like write out ZERO, or just the number 0 is fine. Okay. And then same thing with, what's that? I, yeah. It is a vertical line, so it's undefined. So pretty easy. On J, it's actually super similar to the first question on this page, just because it has a slope of 1 again. So again, you could choose any points. That was just me picking a bad graph. But you go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1 along the whole graph to find the slope. So rise of 1, run of 1, slope of 1. On K, it is a slope of 0 because it's a horizontal line. On L, it actually also has a slope of 1. Because you go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. And you can see like all of the ones that have a slope of 1, the lines actually look the same. They're just in different spots. So that makes perfect sense, right? They all have the same slope. On M, it's undefined because it's a vertical line. And then on N, the slope was -4/3 because to get from the 2 points that I plotted, you go down 4, right 3. Okay, so if you need to rewatch this video to make sure you get it completely right, go for it. Just make sure you've corrected everything, and then turn it into the sub. So make sure he gets this copy. Please, please, please put your name on it, guys, and then put your marker away. You're now moving on to the graph of the week, which is going to be a separate video.